without further ado, she's most likely going to be our next attorney general. She was just grilled and questioned in Washington, D.C., and she is so nice enough to have flown out to Las Vegas today to join me in studio. It is an honor and a pleasure to have perhaps most likely our next attorney general, Pam Bondi, joining us in studio. Pam, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Brian, thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. It looks like you're wearing a very similar outfit to the outfit you wore in the House chambers. So it's great to see you. All right.
Thank
So
you.
I have a lot of listeners that wanted me to ask you specific questions that they don't feel like you answered in those hearings, Pam. So let me
Okay.
start out right off the bat. Who won the 2020 election?
Joe Biden was our president. I've answered this question many times. I don't see why I keep being asked this question.
Well, because you're not answering it. You're saying Joe Biden is our president.
Yes.
First of all, he's not our president anymore. As you know,
Not
Donald Trump is.
anymore.
But like, why won't you say Donald Trump lost? Like, do you have an allegiance to him? I don't understand it.
I've said it before and I will say it again. Joe Biden was our president and Donald Trump is now our president. That's all that matters, Brian.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question again. I find that
I'm
very
answering.
interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Is it true that you made a $25,000 donation to the Donald Trump campaign? Because wouldn't that be like a conflict of interest, Pam? You're going to most likely be our next attorney general. You're making these, allegedly, you made this large donation to the Trump campaign. Can you speak to that at all?
As someone who would like to be confirmed as the next attorney general, there will be numerous amount of rumors flying about me, and I do not have the ability to answer and address every single rumor, Brian.
So you can't address one question?
This is just one of many rumors, and that's just my role that I have to take as someone trying to become the attorney general. People will make up all kinds of stories, and
So is
you
this made
can't
up?
believe everything everyone says. I'm just saying,
Okay.
tons of allegations, tons of rumors.
Interesting. Okay, so you won't
Worse
answer
than
that
made up.
question either. All right, fair enough. Does it bother you at all, Pam Bondi? Can I call you Pam? Is that okay?
Fine.
Miss Bondi, Pam, I don't know your
Pam
family
is
situation.
fine.
Okay, Pam, does it bother you at all that as possibly the next attorney general that Donald Trump just pardoned a bunch of insurrectionists, including over 600 people that committed violent acts on January 6th? You're going to be the next attorney general. Does that bother you at all?
If I'm confirmed as the next attorney general, I will take case by case so I can look at the facts and bear the information in front of me. I cannot answer for someone else's decisions at this time.
I'm sorry, forgive me for laughing. This is a very serious situation. But this already happened. Donald Trump didn't take it case by case.
I
You're
can't-
saying you're going to take it case by case, and you have these people that were convicted of seditious conspiracy and they attacked police officers. How could you be okay with that? I don't understand your answer. Like, how could you be okay with that?
I cannot speak on behalf of our president's decisions. I cannot assume the information about how he navigated these cases, but I know if I'm confirmed as the next attorney general, I will take any cases case by case so I can make the right decision.
Okay, so let's just say one of these, I don't know why I keep laughing. This is very serious, Pam. I apologize. Why is it that, or what happens if one of these people that were pardoned commits a crime? Would you blame Donald Trump for that? Because I know you weren't a part of, you're not the attorney general yet. So obviously you weren't a part of these pardons. And it doesn't sound like you were against them. You haven't really given me an answer to that. But what happens if one of these people commits a crime, Pam?
Then they have a problem. I cannot blame the president for someone else's behavior.
You can't.
They are
Okay.
responsible for their behavior.
They are, but Donald Trump pardoned them, though. So don't you think some of that responsibility should go on Donald Trump?
I think people should be responsible for their actions. And so if someone decides to commit a crime again, they
Yeah.
should be held responsible.
I don't know if
to
I've
that.
asked you this question yet. Who won the 2020 election?
Our president was Joe Biden, but all that matters right now, Brian, is who our president is now.
Got you. I thought you would slip up and tell the truth there. I apologize. All right. So what do you make of Donald Trump's behavior? As a woman, I'm assuming you're a woman. You're a beautiful woman. I'm assuming. With that being said, the liable sexual abuse, 25 women have called him, a sexual abuser or, allegedly rape. What do you make of his behavior with women over the course of his life. Does that bother you at all? As a woman yourself, does that bother you?
Of course, violence of any kind bothers me, Brian, but if I am confirmed as the next attorney general, I will need to take each of these cases case by case, like I've said
I see.
before, to look at the facts and not just random information people are throwing out there. I have to look at the cases for the facts.
You have to look at the cases for the facts. Okay. Who won the 2020 election?
All that matters right now, Brian, is who our president is today.
Got you. Okay. You won't answer that question. I'll keep asking it, I guess. I don't know. All right. So it looks like you're going to be the next attorney general. Do you feel like children should be separated from their families? If somebody in the family is deported, do you feel like the whole family should we be deporting, as some would call them, anchor babies? Should we be deporting families and separating families? I'm just curious, what's your thoughts on that? Because you seem to be a yes woman for everything Donald Trump wants to implement. This is what he wants to do. Are you okay with that?
I am not okay with criminals. And it would be my job, if I am confirmed as the attorney general, to make sure that criminals are treated the way they need to be treated. That is so important in our country, and it is not being addressed properly.
I see.
And that is an issue we need to take care of.
So these children are criminals? I'm trying to understand your...
I'm talking about the people who make crimes. There are consequences to their actions and their decisions, and that is on them.
So you would agree that if you're convicted of 34 felonies, there should be a price to pay for that, right? Nobody's above the law. Is that a general statement?
I would have to look at the cases case by case to make sure we're dealing with facts and not hearsay.
I understand. I understand that's your scripted answer, but forgive me. But if somebody is a convicted 34-count felon, do you think that they should face a penalty for that?
Again, I can't. This is hypothetical. I would have to see the cases and the facts and the information to make an informed decision about said individual.
But it's not a hypothetical, because the man who you support, who picked you to be the next, attorney general, is literally a 34-count convicted felon. You still think that's a hypothetical?
Again, I've not seen each of these cases personally, so I cannot speak to the actual number or facts of these allegations and accusations.
So you're unaware that Donald Trump's a convicted felon. Is that basically what you're saying?
I would have to see the cases
You would have to see
case
the
by
case.
case.
Okay. Who won the 2020 election?
All that matters is who our president is today, Brian.
Gotcha. Well, because you've said in the past, you've said maybe you could help me with this. You've said you've driven in Pennsylvania and you've seen things.
Yes, this is why I only speak to my experience. And so I will not address something unless I have the facts or it's something I've personally borne witness to.
Who won Pennsylvania in 2020?
I only care about what is happening right now, Brian.
You care about what's happening right now. Okay, fair enough. Donald Trump said he was going to end the war in the Ukraine in 24 hours. It's day 3 of his presidency. Why does he want innocent people to die? Why doesn't he end the war?
President Trump doesn't want innocent people to die.
He doesn't.
President Trump is doing the best he can. As you know, there's a lot of jobs and responsibilities and duties and processes when you become an elected official. So if he's not able to do something within the time frame he promised, it's probably because there are processes that are preventing him from doing so.
Okay. Why did he say he was going to end the war in 24 hours then?
I think he knows what he wants to do, but unfortunately our systems are not set up for the most swift action, which is not President Trump's fault. It is the fault of our systems.
Forgive me if this is an inappropriate question, but a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, some people see Donald Trump as Superman, this very sexy, manly man, who sticks his chest out or gut, whichever way you see it. Do you see Donald Trump as a very attractive, powerful man who protects women? I'm just curious.
I think this is an inappropriate question.
It
I
is
don't
inappropriate.
talk about the sexiness or attraction of any politician.
You
that
don't.
has nothing to do with the job or the position I'm seeking.
Okay, that's the only answer that I think I can respect. But okay, we'll move on. When he said grab him by the genitalia, I'm wondering, as a woman, how did you feel about that?
Again, I was not there personally when he said that. So again, if
have
I'm
to
not
be there personally?
to witness or deal with the facts, I cannot speak to it.
So even though he was caught on tape bragging about sexual assault, you're saying you can't comment on it because you, quote, weren't there?
Brian, you've had different people on your radio show who
have.
who can perform different voices,
That's true. I
who
have.
sound like a different person.
I have.
So just because there's a recording, how do we know that's actually the person we hear?
Oh, okay. So your take is that it might not have been Donald Trump on that
I'm
bus.
just saying, unless I was there to witness it or we have hard facts that I can deal
Gotcha.
with.
Maybe it was Matt Gaetz. I understand. I understand why you would say that. So what's it going to be like when you're Attorney General? Like if Donald Trump breaks the law, or say, I know you don't like to deal in hypotheticals, but if he sexually harasses someone, like, are you going to do anything about that? Or are you just going to do what Donald Trump tells you to do?
This is, again, I don't, like you said, I don't deal with hypothetical. And I will, if I'm confirmed as the Attorney General, I will
Okay.
adhere to the due process of law
Understood.
and do my job to the best of my ability.
Understood. Most likely the next Attorney General of the United States of America, Pam Bondi, joining us in studio. Pam, I just want to ask you one more question, and I think it's a very important one. Who won the 2020 election?
President Trump is our president right now, and that is truly all that matters, Brian.
Okay, so you won't answer the question. All right, fair enough. I tried. Well, Miss Bondi, Pam, if I may call you that, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know if you're going to be the next Attorney General. I think your answers make you look like an imbecile, with all due respect. You're a very lovely lady, but you don't answer any questions directly. You seem to be wearing the Donald Trump knee pads, for lack of a better term. I don't think you're a serious woman, because if you were, you would care about our democracy. You don't answer questions directly. I think you're going to be a yes woman to Donald Trump for the next 4 years. And I think you're going to be an embarrassment to the country. I do appreciate you being here in studio. I will give you the last word, but I do think you're a complete imbecile. Go ahead.
You're allowed to have your opinion, and I'm sorry you feel that way, because I respect the law, I support the law, and I will do my job to the best of my ability. And I think you'll be surprised at how well I do if I'm confirmed as the next Attorney General.
Okay. Well, I think it's very important to respect the law and honor a 34-count felon who just released a bunch of January 6th insurrectionists. But okay, we'll leave it at that. Miss Bondi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.